Hello and welcome to another episode of the Winning With Shopify podcast with me, your host, Nick Truman, and we are still here at Subsummit. I'm very, very delighted to be joined by a very special guest today. I'm going to let you introduce yourself. I'd normally introduce guests, but we've got a very different sort of episode. So yeah, tell us your name, your business, and then we'll jump in.
Thank you for having me on. My name's Kit Stanwood. I'm the owner and founder of Golden Tallow, a Wagyu luxury skincare brand, and I've been in business for 3 years now.
And it's super exciting. And the reason I said, guys, that it's a very different episode to what we normally do is normally we get people on who are like, hey, we're doing 20, 30 million a year or 100 million. These are the things we did. With you, we're going to look kind of what you're doing in the present and where you're going. And I think it's super exciting what you're doing as a business. But tell us, at the start of your journey, how do you start creating your first few products and get your first few customers in the door?
Right, that's a great question. So I've had some background in social media and I leverage that a lot. And I also have digital ad marketing from my ex jobs at Bitcoin Magazine and Bitcoin Conference. So I've been able to go into all those platforms and see how that's set up. And I have background in blogging. So I've done a self-hosted WordPress blog before, and I've used WooCommerce selling e-digital products. So I have a vast background on all of this. Plus I went to college for computer information systems. And then I also went for business management, technology and innovation, and entrepreneurship. So I had a class that kind of helped us with a lot of that too.
Nice.
So a lot of things along my journey have led me there. And so a lot of my products are sourced overseas. So I hired a Fiverr person, designer.
Yeah, we love Fiverr.
Yeah,
we love it.
I actually designed my own logo in Canva, but I had the designer give me the actual design files.
Yeah.
And then I got someone off of there. It was pretty affordable, like $200 to make a box for the jar. They designed the jar and then the mailer box. And then from there, I just sent it over to the manufacturer. And they sent me a sample first, and you want to go to a couple of different manufacturers to get samples just to make sure, because one of the jars was perfect. The other one was lopsided on the text, and it just wasn't good quality. So
you think as well, they want your business long term. It's like, just do the basics, yeah?
Right.
Like, let's align things vertically and horizontally okay.
Right, exactly. And then so that's kind of that process. I got a sample of everything, the jars, the product box, and the mailer, and making sure it's good before you buy like 1,000 quantity, because there's minimum quantities for everything.
Yeah, which is difficult when you're starting, isn't it? Because you're like, I need to find money to fund this,
right?
But I've got no guarantee no one's even going to buy it. So it's like, how do you make those sort of decisions early on?
Right, so it was about like $6,000 upfront cost for all of the products, because I make it's called Opulent Facial Elixir. It's whipped tallow face cream. Okay. So that's the product. That's my first one. I also have soaps that I'll get into next.
Yeah.
And
the soap story's good. We'll come on to that.
That one's been interesting for sure, learning. But this one's more straightforward. It's 3 ingredients. It's the Wagyu tallow, which I source from U.S. farmers. So I've leveraged AI to help me research into finding some of these, or just like doing a Google search on my own. So I got lucky, found a Wagyu farmer in Wyoming, and she rendered it down for me. And the problem I wanted to solve is the smell of it. When I first got tallow from a brand, it had that beefy scent, and everything else about it was amazing. I love how it feels and how it absorbs into my skin. I have eczema, so it helps get rid of that around my lips or like my arms. So it helps soothe that. And I thought that was awesome, because I use prescription usually. But
it's almost like you're your first customer review, aren't you? It's like, this works. Wow, guys, you should buy this. Like,
yes, and I've tried over 300 brands of skincare. Okay. When I had my blog, I worked with big companies like Neutrogena and partnerships. They would send me free products, or like I had brand deals with them where I got paid to review their stuff.
Nice.
So I've tried a lot of different things. I love Korean skincare, of course, but a lot of the other products I tried have a lot of water. That's like the first ingredient that you'll see on a lot of these skincare products. And tallow doesn't have water. My product just has Wagyu tallow, cold pressed extra virgin olive oil, and essential oils. And I deep dived into each of those as well too.
Nice.
So I wanted everything to be very high quality. I get my essential oils right now from plant therapy. So that's very high quality in that. And the olive oil as well too. You have to be careful with what quality you buy there.
Sure. I once went on an olive oil tasting session in Greece, and they bought all the like cheap supermarket ones out and the normal ones. I couldn't believe how spicy they are when they're like fresh and they've been properly bottled. And I think they said they were like 48 hours old, this olive oil, and it was like drinking chili oil or something. It's so different. So you've made your product.
Yes, I make it
How do you?
in-house.
Oh, sorry. I was going to say. So how do you take it to market then? Like, how do you go from I've created a product and I need to manufacture it, get it onto Shopify, and actually sell this thing?
Yeah, so once you actually have the product, that's exciting because then you can take pictures of it.
Yep. Nice. Good start.
Yeah, and then you take that, you build a website. I started off with MailChimp for email, got that all embedded. Now I use Klaviyo. And I really leveraged Instagram, Twitter, word of mouth as well too. Leveraging my personal sites. I'm kind of big on Twitter. I am in the Bitcoin influencer space since I worked at Bitcoin Magazine, the conference. A lot of my sales, like I mentioned to you, 10% of my sales is in Bitcoin.
So good. Yeah.
And so that's also a way I'm going to be leveraging in the future to loan against that. And as I grow and build my subscriptions, I'll be able to pay off the loan and keep my asset as that grows up in value.
Which I think it's, again, like right back to my very first question, it's so exciting, I think, to see how you're looking ahead. So many brands are like, oh, that's happened, now let's do something. And you're kind of not at that stage yet, which makes it so exciting. What are some of the things you've been dealing with this year, for example? Like, we're recording this in May 2026. What are some of the things you're dealing with right now that you're trying to achieve, or you've just achieved, or you've just had like letdowns by stuff you've been trying to do?
Right. So every sale that comes into my business right now gets reinvested into it. So I got to a point where I was like pretty ready for another product to add on to, because the face creams are selling out pretty good. And I'm getting subscriptions. So I'm like, okay, now that I have that cash flow to cover some operating expenses, and I do everything on my own. So like, I do my QuickBooks and everything else. Like legal documents are a lot of ChatGPT. So it's just me and ChatGPT and Claude and Gemini.
It's a great co-founder, isn't it?
Yeah. Exactly, yeah.
This episode of Winning with Shopify is brought to you by TaxCloud. It's the busiest time of year for e-commerce. Your store's buzzing, orders flying in, and growth is at an all-time high. But with all that momentum can come new sales tax exposure that you might not even see coming. That's why now is the perfect time to take a closer look at how you're handling sales tax and make sure your business is set up for the growth that you've earned. TaxCloud is our trusted partner for sales tax compliance, built for growing Shopify brands. They handle regulations, filings, and ongoing compliance, working directly with the states on your behalf across the US, so you can stay focused on running your store. They've got a 5-star rating in the Shopify App Store, and listeners of Winning with Shopify get free migration onboarding when you make the switch. To apply for that and learn more, you can go to taxcloud.com/winning. That's taxcloud.com/winning.
Okay, I got into soaps in December. I asked my Twitter audience, like, what do you want to see next? Because I want this business to really provide a service for them. It's not just what I want. Like, I love having unlimited face cream, of course, and that I can try everything out. But I'm really here as a business to serve my customers and do the best products and what they want. And I think a lot of people don't think about that in business. They just kind of think and do what they think is going to be cool. And they don't do the research of like what actually is going to like sell out. So I did a Twitter poll and everyone wanted soaps. And I've never made soaps. And I've heard about the process before. I think 2 years ago, I asked someone about it and they kind of made it sound scary. So I didn't do it. They were like, oh, it's a chemical process. You need to wear gloves. You have to like have like goggles on. And I was like, okay, maybe I won't do that like right now. But then it popped up again from this Twitter poll. And I was like, okay, I'm just going to figure it out. I've figured out so much other stuff. So I leveraged AI to help me walk out the process of it. And I ordered all the supplies. I got high quality castor oil, coconut oil. Lye is the chemical that you mix with distilled water. So you always pour the lye into the distilled water. And you have to have goggles in on this process because it fumes up. And you probably shouldn't be breathing it in either. So I try to always mix it outside. And that heats up to 165 degrees. And then you have your other mixture of Wagyu tallow, the coconut oil, castor oil, any essential oils. I put some oatmeal for your skin as well in that. And then you heat that up to about like 135 or so, 140, and then you cool them all down. And you take a laser gun and you do temperature reading on both of them.
Yep.
And so that's where I was running into these issues creating the product. I had watched a lot of YouTube videos on it, like a couple hours for a couple
That's how
weeks.
every DIY project I've ever done is like, I saw this guy, you know, he's had to like fix the car. Like I've broken it more now, but
YouTube University, right?
Yeah. So good.
I guess I could have sped it up by getting a mentorship or a course or, something like that. But I was just like, I'm going to leverage AI and like YouTube and just kind of figure it out.
Yeah.
And so the first few batches I did, it came out decent, but I mixed it at too high of a temperature at 120. So that chemical process like went too fast and it hardened it quicker.
Okay.
So I was trying to put it into these molds that have my logo in it that's raised. So when you're thinking about it, I want it to be more of a liquid so that it pours into the crevices of the mold. So
Okay.
it was difficult on these first 3 batches, I guess. I had to melt it down again and then spoon it into it. So it like made it perfect on the logos.
Okay.
And, it remolding or like,
Yeah.
melting it down again and then putting it in like doesn't hurt the soap bed or anything like that, but it can just the
It's such a
aesthetics
slow
of it.
process on your own initially as well, isn't it? It's
Yeah.
like, I haven't got a factory, I don't have manufacturing, I can't turn to the
Right.
expert and be like, can we make a new scent of soap now? And I accidentally call them flavors quite a lot. My wife reminds me, like, you're not going to be consuming these things, it's scent, not flavor. But but I think that the whole process of doing it manually, as things grow, there must be an appetite with you to start doing manufacturing. But at least then when you get someone else to do it, you're like, this is the exact process. Like, this is how you
Exactly.
do it, because I've
Yes.
done it myself.
Right. I'm documenting everything that I do, SOPs, recipes. I
Nice.
measure everything in grams, so it's very precise. And
And grams are better than pounds, and
Right.
they make
Right.
sense. But I think that whole process, a lot of founders I've spoken to, one of their biggest regrets when they've got bigger is they had to go back and retrospectively document the things that didn't work. And I think the things that didn't work are really interesting because they, like, for example, we had the lady from Byte on. I mentioned her to you last night, and she said she lost her complete sense of taste
Yes,
trying one
yeah.
of the products because I think it was lemon. She put way too much lemon concentrate or something in,
Right.
and for 4 weeks she had no taste from this, which then meant 4 weeks she couldn't do any production because she was like, I can't actually taste the toothpastes. So she could produce things she knew, but not create new products. And she was in that same phase. One of the biggest challenges then is when she outsourced, she said to us that the problem was they started doing things that she was like, no, that won't work.
Right.
And they were like, well, how do we know? How do we know that that bit doesn't work? Like, it's not written down anywhere. So I
Right.
love the fact you're documenting it as well. It must be
Absolutely.
useful for you, almost like a journal, to look back and go, right, I've done that, that worked, that didn't. And now you're
Yes.
refining into, okay, we can make soap now. We know what we're doing.
Right. And when I hire someone, it helps them. And I am definitely thinking about like scaling this and
Yeah,
how what are the next things that I can offload for me to be able to like really look high picture,
Yeah.
get more products or, start more e-commerce businesses later on in like 5 years or so,
Yeah. And I love the statistic you told me yesterday because it's the opposite of the other guys we had on here, which was Good Ranchers and BattleBox, who were like, yeah, we've got tens of thousands of subscribers. We're obviously at Subsummit. You've
Yes.
started subscriptions. How many subscribers do you have? Like, and how much do you engage with those guys at the moment?
Right. So I have 2 subscribers right now,
Love
and
it.
shout out to them. I had a third one. I think they may have just wanted like a discount, and then they got off kind of thing. But all the software companies here, a lot of AI leverage here. I'm going to be implementing into my site where like they can follow up with people and try to like convert them into subscribers. And so my goal is really like probably like 100 over the next year and a half or so to get that milestone, or maybe quicker.
Yeah.
I might be starting to run meta ads and going from there.
Nice.
Yeah.
And I just, as soon as you even say meta ads, my whole brain's like, yeah, I've been working on meta ads for like 10, maybe 12 years now. And it's like, oh my gosh, you got so much fun ahead of you. Unfortunately, the glory days of meta ads disappeared when there was the iOS updates Apple did. I think it was 3 or 4 years ago.
Right.
But I think it's just so exciting with that. And
Yeah.
I mean, your website, you've built it yourself. You've decided what apps to use, the
Yes.
tech stack, the whole design. With that in mind, I'm going to go back to something you mentioned earlier. How do you, as the founder, remain focused on customers, not what you think looks good or what you want to engage with? How do you find time to look at the data and engage with what customers are actually doing versus what you just kind of like?
Right. So I direct message a lot of my customers to follow up with them. I'm also asking them to write reviews on my website.
Nice.
Because that's all really important for conversions later with when I do run ads. And yeah, I write like thank you notes with everyone. I'll email people as well too, depending on the situation. Someone with the subscribers had I followed up with them because maybe their payment hadn't gone through, and it was a Shopify setting that I needed to add on where it like actually did go and try to charge them again.
Oh, of course,
so I
yeah,
sent them like a free soap to say thank you
Nice.
for like letting me know that I need to just update that setting.
And I think when you're small as well, I think it was Keep Candles we had on the show 2-3 years ago, and the CEO said that even though he's got 15-20 staff now, he spends at half a day a week, and he uses a bit of a template for it, uses AI to customize it now, because we had them on again recently, but emailing every customer, even though they're processing thousands of orders a month now, tens of thousands, but they're still emailing every single customer and saying, thank you for buying for us.
Yeah.
This is the mission. I see you've bought this. Like, it's one of my favorite products. Like, one of our team came up with the scent for it. And the customer must feel so good. Like, your retention must be amazing having that connection between the founder and the customer.
Yeah, my retention rate is 34% for like
Wow.
returning customers, which is
Yeah.
I guess like a little bit above average. I use
I think it's
ChatGPT
quite
to
a
look
bit
at my
above
stats.
average. That's good.
Yeah. Yeah, and people are buying from my personal brand. Like I mentioned, I leverage my personal
Yeah.
Twitter. So I have quite a few viral posts, and I'll like advertise underneath of those viral posts often,
Nice.
or like repost from my business account to my personal.
Which is so smart. And I think people, I think even with the podcast, like I didn't lean in enough in the early days to like me. I was probably too British about it. And I was like, this is about Shopify and the guests and everything. Whereas now, like leaning into the fact, like people do tune into me, so like I need to thank them, I need to talk to them, and if you haven't hit subscribe, guys, hit the subscribe button. We were joking about this last night, and we were saying, I think it was 83%. Byron was saying of like you guys who listen regularly on YouTube, 83% of you are not subscribed, which is fine. You keep tuning in, but if you subscribe, more people find it and it grows. And I think with you, especially like with your business, every customer must be like an amazing like referral point as well.
Right.
You build
Word
that
of mouth.
connection, say, can I send a free product to a customer? Or like, how do you approach the referral side of things through customers?
So I've got an affiliate program right now that I need to work on a little bit more, but there is like different rewards programs that I use too,
Nice.
smile.io. And then
Yeah,
I
yeah.
also have a really cool one called Ochi. I know the founder, and it gives Bitcoin sats back to people.
Nice.
And like I mentioned, 10% of my sales are in Bitcoin. So everyone
Yeah.
gets so excited that they randomly get this email where they're like claiming sats back.
Do you ever find that in your warehouse you have dead stock? You can't sell it, no one wants to buy it, and you can't get a refund on it. Or alternatively, you're missing inventory in your warehouse that you need. You've got sales coming in and you're low on stock and you haven't ordered more stock in time. All these things hit profit, and I've been there. I've run my own Shopify store and had exactly that problem. But we've partnered it up with Inventory Planner, who have the most incredible app to help you manage that and forecast exactly what products, what SKUs, even down to what color of product you need to order in advance to make sure stock levels remain consistent throughout. They're also running a 7-day boot camp, and if you want to go and sign up to that, it's 7 emails over 7 days, and it takes the same amount of time as your morning coffee. And in 7 days, like me, you can become an inventory management pro. Both links are in the description. Enjoy. I'm not in crypto, but sats, I have some, and I think it's from playing a game on my phone, and I was looking into this whole world of things. Do you, out of interest, do you accept Bitcoin and on the site as a currency?
Yes, I do.
Amazing.
So on the Shopify checkout, you have to scroll down, but kind of far down, and I can't edit that to move it up at all, but it is there. It's at the bottom.
Once you reach scale, I think you can on Shopify Plus. You can
cool.
customize the whole checkout a lot more, and you can use your own checkout, I think, or your own payment gateways at that point. But yeah, most people move to Shopify Plus just to save money on the transaction fees. It's like when you reach a certain point, you're like, it's cheaper to get a lower transaction fee for the. But we get so many of you guys reaching out to us all the time saying like, we're on Plus, like I'm struggling to understand what the benefit of Plus is. You know what I mean? I'm like, well, you're saving money. What else would you?
Right.
And I think it's they're expecting this whole new suite of tools. But in a way, it's why it's good to move up to that.
Yeah.
What are some of the challenges you're facing today as a small solo founder, entrepreneur running the business?
I think one of the biggest challenges is just mental. Like you're online scrolling and you see all these people that seem to got rich overnight or like this and that. And I know that it's a 10-year plan, and really you just have to go slow at it. You don't want to go bankrupt. I was trying to get into this entrepreneur program, and one of the sales guys, he actually randomly had a tallow business and was telling me about it, and he said he shut it down, but he had worked with an agency and he was running ads, and it was just kind of like a black hole for him.
Yeah, yeah.
And I don't think he had set up a lot of the foundation. Like, I'm here trying to set up foundation of like chat box or like subscriptions, back end,
Yeah, yeah.
some of the like email, like just funnels that you
Yeah.
need in order to run ads and do different things where you're capturing the most out of everything. Like having all your email flows, you have text message flows already set up before.
Yeah.
I think for me, I was running ads when I had like only one product. It's better now that I have multiple products, because that person might land and buy a cream and then
Kind
a
of like the
few
first
soaps.
one, but here are some others you might like even more.
Right. Yeah.
I think it's really exciting that you're thinking that way. I've worked with thousands of brands over like nearly 20 years, and the amount of brands that are like, oh my gosh, that system's not working anymore because we've grown. Like, it's a good problem, but it's still a problem. Whereas you seem to be almost like stress testing everything, going, if I had 1 million orders a year, like I know I'm making silly numbers up, but if I had 1 million orders a year, would this system
Yes.
still work? And would it
Right.
just kind of go like that? And I
Right.
think there's a lot of businesses where they just don't have the flexibility you do right now to go, do you know what? I'm just going to change the email provider. I'll just turn that off, hit the export button. I've got a CSV file and import this one. And you can do that. Imagine Walmart doing that.
Right, it'd be
It's like,
so.
the guys would be like, I quit. The whole IT team would just leave.
I'm in such a good timeline, right? Being a solopreneur with AI as my coworker.
absolutely.
It's insane.
Yeah, and asking ChatGPT, like, what are the options for email platforms and Shopify? Here's my actual. I mean, you probably built your own agents as well, so they know who you are, they know what kind of questions you ask, and that sort of thing. So, yeah, you must have some of the agentic agents now. Where you're like, I don't know if you use it for this, but we've been using the agentic agents a lot with our clients and teaching them like these are the customer 3 or 4 personas or demographics or whatever, and then saying use demographic 2, go on the site and try and find this product and buy it, and come back and tell me what were all the issues. And actually using it for like when you're small and you don't have the numbers, or you don't want to do a big long qualitative feedback survey of customers, just getting like instant AI response going, as an AI, I've read all these case studies and I've been on your site, and I think actually this is probably the highest friction point, is you're not explaining this at this point of the journey. Are you using AI for stuff like that as well, just to kind of kickstart that feedback loop?
Yeah, I'm using AI for pretty much everything at this point. Like
Love it.
from legal documents, QuickBooks. I'm doing my own accounting. The website. I've done some vibe coding with Claude. I made on www.goldentallow.com. When you scroll down, you'll see a comparison chart of Golden Tallow with like CeraVe and like some of the other creams.
And ChatGPT just kind of makes that quickly, going like, compare me
Claude,
to everyone
yes.
else. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's
and
amazing.
then a lot of the copy, because that takes a long time to write things for that.
Yeah.
It's making images for holiday images that otherwise would take a long time.
I saw, and I've now made this part of my workflow. I saw an Instagram reel about a year ago that said, here are 5 things you should do to like optimize the way you're using AI. And one of the ones that was a game changer for me, and you mentioned vibe coding, like I've built so many systems internally now, and every now and then I'm like, guys, I'll just build an app, and everyone's like, oh no. But then like, everyone hates change, right? 3 months later, they're like, this app's amazing. Like, it's so good, Nick. Can you make it do this? And now we like have meetings internally going, do we want it to do that? Like,
Right.
is that a good thing or not? But what the bit of advice it gave me that has been a complete game changer for vibe coding is, it said instead of typing in, so that you give it everything, like you give it the longer the brief, the better the thing that AI will change. They said always dictate into, it still puts it into text, but just do a whole spiel of like, I'm using the app and I don't really like the way it does this at the moment, and I think it needs to do this, and just try and think of all the things like, because of this and because it's designed to do this, or this is the output I want, and always put it on discussion mode first.
I do that a lot.
Let it come back, like let it
so
come back with a
cool.
plan. Yeah.
Exactly. I just kind of go on rants. I walk around like I'm talking to an actual person, and like I get a lot of consulting information from them that way.
I've got ChatGPT in my car. I drive an Audi, and it's like integrated into Audi. It's pretty annoying, because you're like, what's the weather today? And it goes, here's what I found on ChatJupiter, and it's like the British accent they give you in the Audis in the UK. But one of the things I find fascinating with ChatGPT is if you get it open on your phone, you can literally just hit like conversation mode, and you're driving along going, I'm thinking of doing this today. What do you reckon? It's like, well, I've just had a quick look online, and actually lots of founders wouldn't do that for these reasons. I'm like, oh, that's interesting. What founders have done it? And it's like, let me go find out. It's like, oh, here you go. And it's reading stuff and creating stuff it's found.
Yeah.
But I'm like driving along right now, being super productive on my way to the office. And then by the time I get there, I'm like, right, copy and paste into like the vibe coding tool. We use Base 44 at the moment. It just seemed like the easiest one without knowing any code. Put it into Base 44 and it's like, I've built you an app. And I'm like, sweet, 9:05, like it's time for a coffee. Like I've built an app today.
Right.
But I think it's so empowering. But again, lots of big corporations, which is where you've got a massive edge against them. They're going to be such slow turning ships. Like the amount of people on LinkedIn now with like AI consultant in their job time, like with how much experience? Like 3 years ago, we weren't really using it. Like 3 years ago, it's like this thing's coming and people are like, oh, what is it? And people are moving away from AI at the moment. There's a massive distrust with it. I love the fact you're just leveraging it to move so quickly. What's on the horizon for you? What are you going to, again, we're recording May 26. What's on the horizon? What are you going to try and achieve for the rest of this year?
Right. So I'm meeting with one of my best friends that I've known for 9 years. We used to do blog work when I had the lifestyle blog. He's a photographer. So I'm meeting him on Sunday, and we are potentially launching a CBD cream. There's a lot of regulations around that.
There is.
And we have to get it tested. And so we're still formulating it. We're doing like 2 different like test batches right now. So we're going to be launching that hopefully by like the end of year before Christmas or like next year. And I'm pretty excited. There was like some CBD here. I don't know too much about it personally, so I've been writing a lot of blog posts about it to learn about it. And just he's
I love that you're creating
of it.
content so that you learn. Normally, it's like you go to university or college and you do all the learning, and then you kind of execute. I love the fact you're just sharing what you're learning in the process. That's a really smart way of doing it.
Yeah, thank you.
It makes it so much more productive. And do you think? I mean, I guess it kind of goes without saying, if you have a product that has to be certified, tested, and it goes through some regulation process, it probably restricts the amount of other people that can launch a product. In a way, like, I obviously hope it doesn't get rejected,
Right.
but even if it did, and then you eventually later got accepted, the more rigorous that process is, the more it probably gives you a bit more of a niche when you're small and you're trying to break into a market.
Right. Anything hard is like I like the challenge because it's going to have that barrier of entry and it's going to make it a little bit more difficult. But there are like a lot of CBD brands out there. However, I found it interesting walking around this conference today or, over the last few days that they're saying that payment processors sometimes pause those or like some fulfillment centers don't want to hold it.
Yeah.
And, on Shopify, you don't want to run the risk of them shutting down your site. So it's great to come to places like this and learn those
Didn't know that
things.
was a risk. Yeah,
Right.
but now I do.
Now
Absolutely.
I'm probably going to set up another website or a landing page and maybe even different payment, like separate it out.
Sure.
And then once it is running for a while, maybe integrate it back into like the website.
I mean, again, it's a smart way to do it. But I mean, I love coming to shows like this and just hearing other people, meeting people like yourself and hearing your journey. Last question from me. If people are listening and going, this is so cool. Like, I want to check out the site. I want to see the products. Like, I want to follow your blog, your it's X now, isn't it? X account
X.
rather than Twitter.
Yes,
But how can people follow you? Like, what are your social handles? What's the website address?
Yeah, all the social media handles, Instagram, TikTok, Facebook, YouTube. I'm trying to grow my YouTube a lot this year.
So
It's
are
all
we.
yeah,
It's good. It's
follow
hard,
follow this channel, subscribe.
Thank you.
So it's all at Golden Tallow, and then it's goldentallow.com.
Well, look, thank you so much. And it literally was last night we were watching B.O.B. at a concert here as part of the show. And I was like, come on the show in the morning. So I appreciate you jumping in so quick. And thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much for having me.
Amazing. And for everybody listening at home, hit the subscribe button if you haven't. I think it's like the 4th time we've said it. Thanks so much for tuning in. We'll be back again with another episode within the next few days. Thanks for tuning in. See you next time. Does your email marketing suck? Do you wish it converted better and integrated better with your store? Well, there is a solution. We've partnered with Seguno, who are an email platform that is built into Shopify, which means you don't have to leave Shopify to go and manage your email campaigns. So you can run your marketing at the same place you run your shop. To learn more, you can claim your free customer analysis and strategy session. And visit seguno.com/winning with Shopify. That's seguno.com/winning with Shopify. Seguno is made for merchants, not marketers.